Hi, my name is Dan, and this video is one in a series of videos about using materials in Unreal. And in this one, so this follows on from a video that I've just done about texturing, and this is going to talk about using textures other than color textures. Uh, so the setup I've got here is I've got a third-person template map, and I've created a little blueprint, which is the sphere that's sitting here. And when I click play, you'll see that that sphere is rotating slowly. That's just been set up using a blueprint class. And I've also imported a couple of textures here. One is a map of the worlds, and the other one looks a bit like a map of the world, but the sea is white and the land is black. And I'll explain what's going on there in a couple of minutes. I should tell you, those textures have come from this website here, which is planetpixelemporium.com. There'll be a link down in the description. So I'm going to create a material. I'm just going to call it my world mat. And to start off with, I'm just going to use that world map and drag that in and stick that in there. And we're going to apply that to this object here. Where's the material? There's the material. And I need to do that inside the blueprint. So the blueprint, get hold of the sphere, and drag that material across to replace that brick. So that's been really quick. I had tested this beforehand, so I knew that the UV mapping was right for this. And when I click play, that's the world going around. Can you spot the problem here, the inaccuracy? Answer at the end of the video. Okay. That's fairly straightforward. That's just a material which has got the world on it. Why are we talking about this? And the reason is this texture here, which has just got black and white in it. And this is what's called a specular map. And what it's going to do is it's going to give us the specularity at the same points as the color here from the texture. And you can plug into several of these different nodes here. You can actually plug a texture in rather than a fixed value. And as the texture gets mapped across, then similarly this texture will be mapped across, but it'll be the effect of this texture. So this is being called a specular map. I have plugged it into the specularity there, and what this means is that where it's white, it's going to be shiny and have a specularity, and where it's not, where it's black, it's going to be matte. We've just caught a little bit, if you can see up there, the specularity on the where is that? That's the Caspian Sea, and you can see the sea is shiny, but the land isn't. And this is one of my favourite ways of showing off a specularity map, sometimes known as a gloss map. Is that if you get this distinct difference between the sea, which being shiny, and the land, which isn't. And we're just going to click apply to that and see that in action. So again, hopefully you can see as it was rotating that specular dot, which is kind of front and center above the middle. When it's on the sea, you see the specular dot. When it's on the land, even though sometimes the land is lighter in color, you can see that it's not there. So that's a particular use of a specularity map, sometimes known, as I said, as a gloss map. I could equally well plug that into metallic or into roughness, but they would have different effects. And this was designed specifically to have this particular effect with specularity. Similarly, you might have seen in previous videos, I've plugged things into the normal map. I'll be doing that in the next video, I'm going to talk about bump mapping and how that works with textures and why it works as well. So I promised I would tell you the answer as to what's wrong with this little thing rotating at the end. And the answer is very simple. It's rotating the wrong way. It's going round west to east rather than east to west. So that is it from me for now.